You haven't really been doing this for very long, have you?
No, I haven't. April 9th last year I had started, so this has been fairly new for me.
April 9th. It's like just over it's not even a year and a half ago.
Yeah, yeah, you're telling me.
And you're doing competitions though too.
I have been, yeah, I kind of jumped right into it. It just happened so fast. It's overnight for me. It's still hard to believe, but
Well, rewind a little bit then. I mean, you obviously have to have some artistic flair to be able to do this though.
I tried to do a lot of different mediums like painting, drawing, and that, and I was never 100% at them. It was not something that was, I enjoyed doing it. I just never felt like I was there with it. And so I had eventually seen a carving made in Japan, and this amazing dragon was hand carved. It was so beautiful, and I was like, that's magic, and I want to do that magic. So I ended up looking at wood carving club around town, and I found them, and they showed me what chisels and stuff to start using. And I had started just playing around with little pieces of wood here and there, and then I knew I had to go on to bigger and better tools because I was asked to do wood sculpture, a wood spirit in a large tree, and I knew it was going to take me forever. So I met a carver from Campbell River, and he had, or Courtney, British Columbia, and he invited us up to show me how to use chainsaw
So
safely.
so you started out just doing like hand tools.
Yes.
And then how long had you been doing that?
I was doing that on and off, just very little for about 4 years on and off.
Okay.
I think I have in total, in like all my little hand carvings, maybe about 10 or 12 carvings, and that's about it.
And then just picking up the chainsaw.
And then I picked up the chainsaw, and now there's no stopping.
What like being female, is it a male dominated type of industry?
There is quite a few females who do it, but it is definitely male dominated. There's a lot more men than women doing it. So, but there's a lot more females picking up chainsaws all over the place. So soon it'll be even, maybe.
Well, and if it's not, well, at least you got a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Talking with Marina Cole, chainsaw carver. She's coming to town for the competition at the Logger Sports Show this weekend. What when you're in competition mode then, like what is that like? Explain, because I think that for our listeners, it hasn't been like we're a logging industry town, but when it comes to these competitions though, there's not a lot of that. You don't see that too often. So can you break down what the competition that is kind of like?
For the competition, I think for the carvers, it's initially a huge in your head, trying to get every aspect down to the point where you can get your blocking cutouts done and progress from there on out. So it's just trying to get things done in the timeline that we have. But the competition, what you'll see for the first day for people when they come and watch, you'll just see big pieces being taken off and it really looking boxy, and you might get the idea of what's going on. And then by the day two, you'll start seeing some things really coming alive. And then day three, you pretty much get the really good idea of what's going on because we were able to get the fine details done. So it's a fun competition. It's nice to watch it go from start to finish. Even for myself being a carver, I love to watch all the other carvers come along. So I've seen these carvings done by others and in their own technique, their own ways is just awesome to watch.
Now, especially you being a newcomer to the scene as well, I would imagine that you're looking at other people's work probably in a different way than maybe somebody that has been doing it for 20 years. Would you say that's true?
Absolutely. You definitely study. You study. Every competition is almost like a course. So you go there and you watch the different techniques people are using, and even when it comes down to quick carves that we do, we normally do one a day, and we'll be doing it for about an hour, and we'll have a piece from start to finish done in an hour for people to see it come together quickly. So every time you do something like that, you always find yourself stepping back and kind of concentrating on what others are doing and the techniques they're using, so you can just better yourself in your job, you know?
No kidding. Yeah. Well, I'm speaking to Marina Cole, a chainsaw carver. She's coming to town this weekend for the Logger Sports Show. If you've only been doing it, Marina, since last April, how confident are you? Not to make it seem it's got to be just. I would find that so nerve-wracking.
It's quite nerve-wracking. You know, you kind of get lost in a piece. I think any artist kind of gets lost in their piece, so they aren't really focusing on what's going on around them. It's a little nerve-wracking for time frame. You know, a lot of people have been doing it a lot more and a lot longer than myself, so they can get down to where they need to be to start detailing faster than myself. So the time frame, it does put a little crunch on you, and, you know, you're hoping that everybody is understanding your carvings when you're finished. You can walk away and everybody says, oh, okay, well, that's what it's supposed to be,
Right.
instead of thinking your eagle is a bunny or something.
Yeah, like that's a frog.
Yes.
How many chainsaw carvings have you done?
You know what? Honestly, I can't even tell you. I've lost count.
Wow. Okay, so it doesn't matter that you've only been doing it for a year and a half. You're doing it all the time. Clearly.
It's definitely become my main job. So yes, absolutely.
What is your favorite thing to carve?
I'm really loving the idea of human form. I really like doing a little bit. I kind of like thinking out of the box. So as soon as I can get a little faster on the fantasy in that, I will probably initially start doing that more often in competitions. But I really love human form. Female form is beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing. Us humans are beautiful, so might as well put that into the art.
It's probably something that not a lot of other carvers do too.
Not a lot do, no. There's a lot of animals, a lot of more just animals and different types of things. But yeah, not a lot of people will go to the human form.
Well, you're taking yeah, you got to do something to stand out, I guess.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, then, I'll just before I let you go, Marina, I know that in these competitions that you don't really tip your hand a little bit with what you're going to do. Do you know what you're going to carve this weekend?
I have somewhat of an idea of what I'm going to carve this weekend.
But you won't. Is it a secret with you?
It's a secret with me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know myself until I go in there. So.
That's so.
Yeah, when you look at the log, it kind of changes things. So you have to kind of go in open-minded, have a couple ideas for something with a skinny log, something with a fat log. There's a lot of different things that kind of play into it. You can have a log with a piece of rot. So you really have to kind of keep your mind open. You can't just focus on your one idea, or else you might get a little lost in that. So
That sounds so interesting. That it's something that I didn't even consider. That it depends on what you're given to carve with.
Absolutely.
Well, I wish you all the best this week, and I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today, Marina.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate